Let's look again at a little piece of the video I had you watch on Milpas. This is about 5 minutes in. Oops, sorry.
4 years into the Milpas cycle, seeds drifting in from the surrounding forest have sprouted into young trees in Narciso's Milpa. He keeps the ones that are useful to him and eliminates the others. Narciso continues to sow his annual crop plants for another 4 years. By then, the young forest trees are beginning to cast too much shade for corn or beans, so he initiates the cycle elsewhere by burning another plot of forest. The new forest, with its many products, will be as important to Narciso as his Milpa. It will grow and mature for the final 12 years of the cycle, and will become a place for abundant wildlife.
There's this image of slash and burn being really destructive, and the image that comes from our European position that to get more product you have to clear more land, and that means all land is cleared. The Milpa system is a cycle. At any one time, they'll have a minimum of 2/3 of the land in forest.
And that...
All right, so I'm going to stop there. And what I found interesting to that particular person in the video was that she said that 2/3 of the land that is being managed will be in forest. It won't be kind of have that clear-cut look, or that what we think of a normal farm look. So let's imagine I'm writing this paper about the Milpa, and let's say I want to quote what that woman said about this 12-year cycle having 2/3 of the land in forest. So once again, I want to remember some things. If you don't see the ruler up there, make sure that you go to the View and menu and click Ruler. Remember to pull the first line indent a 1/2 inch so you have this. So I'm writing this paper about Milpa, and I say that a common type of forest farming that the Maya and their descendants have practiced for millennia is called a Milpa. And by the way, Milpa is a new word, it's a foreign word. You have a choice. You could put it in quotations or you could put it in italics for the first time, either way. And but you do that in the first instance. You're teaching the reader that it's a new word, and then afterward you don't put it in quotations and you don't put it in italics because you've taught the reader that it's now a word that you're going to use in your paper. So anyway, a milpa, which combines corn, beans, and squash, which are called the Three Sisters, among other targeted plants. This system follows a 12-year cycle that begins with slash and burn, clearing to a plot of forest, followed by intentional planting of the Three Sisters. Eventually, other trees and plants volunteer in the milpa. And volunteer is when a plant just seeds itself. We call that a volunteer, which the farmer then selects for growing or removing. Eventually, the milpa turns into a tropical forest that grows in the canopy. So let's imagine I wanted this quotation and to say that the Milpa system here is a cycle. At any one time they'll have a minimum of 2/3 of the land in forest. And let's just imagine I put it there, and maybe I need to add some writing to it or not. But the question is, how do I cite it? How do I cite it? So I have actually taken a screenshot of the woman who was being interviewed in the video, and her name is Annabelle Ford. So all I need to do then for my citation is to do Ford. Okay. I don't have a page number to put. Now, it would be okay for you to go back to this piece and find where she said that, and then timestamp it, say from 6 minutes to 6:10, or it's just the start of it. It really doesn't matter. It's completely up to you. That's just a kind of a gift to the reader to tell them exactly where in the video the words are spoken, or to you for you to remember where it is if you wanted to find it. And it's not so hard in an 8-minute video, but if it was a 2-hour video, that might be really helpful. But it's up to you. I'm not going to bother with adding a timestamp to it, but you certainly could. So the question is then, how do I do a works cited list? All right. So once again, the ruler should look like this. This means that the first line is right on the 1-inch margin, and any line after the first is going to be indented. We do this so that the name is easy to see. And again, it's Ford, and I think it was Annabelle. Yeah, Ford Annabelle is the author, at least of the words that we're the speaker of the words that we're quoting. Now, there are other possible contributors that we might add to this video, but I'm not going to worry about that so much. Let's go back to the course modules, and I remember I have course documents and citing a website. So citing a website we looked at for how to do it with a book, but it's basically the same things with a little bit more we might add for a website. So we have the author. Now we have title of source, title of container. And that's always a fun question to ask in the class is which is which in this video. So the title of this video is right here. Okay, is the Maya Forest Garden the key to sustainable agriculture? That's the name of this video. And where is this video contained? It's contained in YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and copy the title because that's coming next. And again, we have the author already. Now we have the title of the source. So I'm going to put it in quotations. And I'll just put it in between those quotations. And now I want you to see I'm in Google Docs. And I don't want to just paste it, because if I paste it, it's going to keep the print of the website. So what I want to choose is paste without formatting. If you use Microsoft Word, it says to I forget it wants you to, the choice is to basically merge. That's what it is, merge formatting. Sorry, I lost that a little bit. So anyway, paste without formatting means that it's going to use my formatting. So that's the choice that I'll do. And that's the name of the video. Now it's again, YouTube is the container. This had a question mark. If it didn't have a question mark, I would put a period there. We put a period at the end of the name of the source. We put a period generally after the container. And then after that, these other items are just going to have commas after them, and then finally a period at the very end. So the title of the container, like the name of the book, was in italics. So I will now switch to italics into YouTube and take the italics out. Next, we have other contributors, and this is kind of up to you how much you want to do. How much work do you want to do, and how necessary it is. Now, the original person who introduced the narrator of this video, I could find out in the sources who this is. I could learn more. I could look into it and try to find out his name. It may have said it at the beginning. I don't remember. Let's see. Sorry. At any rate, he's the one who talked about it being a 12-year cycle. Maybe I want to include him as the narrator of the video. Up to you totally. It doesn't matter in the case because I just used her words. So I can add other contributors there and their roles. Okay, so again, yeah, I could put that man's name and then say narrator. Version and number, you usually don't have to worry about. Publisher. Okay, the publisher is found here, Odyssey Earth. Okay, so I'll go ahead and copy that. And I will paste it in without formatting. And I will use a comma now. Next is the date. And the date is here. Sometimes it'll say, 5 years ago or something like that. Usually if you do a rollover, the date will come up. YouTube doesn't always do it the same. So anyway, 28 August 2019. And you can abbreviate August if you want to, or you can spell it out. It's totally up to you. 28 August 2019, comma. And now the final element after the date is the location. And in this case, now again, if we were using a chapter in a book, we would have to put the whole range of pages. But in the case of a website, we're looking at the URL up here. So I'm going to copy this whole website address, the URL, and I'll paste it again without formatting and add a period and then a space. And so that's the full citation. All right. So I can now delete this picture. I'll just put a page break. Remember, Control Enter. I'll put a page break and put it down below so you don't see it. And then, if I'm going to turn in my paper, I can delete it later. So anyway, you could do screen grabs of all the people you might be quoting. Totally up to you. Whatever works. But anyway, so now that's how I would cite a website.